Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Vocast. I'm your host, Ethan Drew, and we've got yet another reaction and analysis today. Ethan Drew, what are you talking about? I have since decided to open up my first and last online name instead of just using my last. You guys can now refer to me as Ethan Drew, and that is going to be the name that I go by as I make music on this channel. This is still the Vocast, so fear not. Today we are going to be reacting to and breaking down VoicePlay's cover of Valhalla Calling. Now, I've not heard this before, so this will be a genuine first-time reaction. So, I hope you're excited as I am, because VoicePlay is always pushing it. With that said, let's dive right into the reaction portion of the video. Alright folks, it is time for the reaction portion of the video. So the way these work is that I will do a first-time blind reaction, if I haven't heard it already, without stopping, pausing, interrupting the song. After that, there will be a brief pause in which I transition over to the breakdown and analysis portion, where I break down the music that you're listening to. So with that said, this is going to be a fresh blind reaction, and we know that VoicePlay is literally always crushing it. So with that said, let's jump into what VoicePlay has for us today. Got my piano. We're good. Ooh, this is gonna be great. I'm digging this already.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and reign.
Far from the fjords and the ice cold currents.
There is definitely an extremely low subharmonic in there.
Storms and sagas of a fate determined, shields and speed.
Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder.
G flat sub.
Together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder pound within. Oh, the echoes of eternity. Oh, Valhalla calling me. Oh, to pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me.
Holy freaking crap. There's so much happening.
Sails are swaying on the crimson river, blood and glory in the fighting fields.
Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel. Fires are rising and the bells are ringing. Glory take us into Odin's halls. Golden glitter and the sound of singing. Asgard's call. Oh, the
Wow.
echoes of eternity. Valhalla calling me. To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me. Feeling like a king, I'm more like a god. Feeling eternal like I'll never die. Getting revenge and eye for an eye. Ready for battle and ready to fight. Ready for war, right at the drop. Ended with blood from the head of my ops. This how I go, it don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrap the hell raining down. When it come, they hit the ground. They all end up 6 feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds. Fight for the crew cause we'll bleed and we'll brawl. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer the creed, and we'll never forget Valhalla.
The echoes of eternity. Valhalla calling me.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling
I've been sitting here dumbfounded for like the past 3 minutes. How do you comment on that? How do you make a comment on something this epic? Holy crap. Okay. There is a freaking lot to talk about in this. Hello, this was awesome. Ooh, alright, I'm excited. Alright, so we're getting ready to transition over to the breakdown and analysis portion. I'm sorry that I didn't give you much in the way of a reaction first time, but I was just too dumbfounded at how cool this was to even have an inkling of a word to say. It was just crazy! There's an insane amount of subharmonics, low notes, high notes for days, so many musical liberties taken, and so many risks taken, and they paid off so well. Okay. Alright, I will meet you over in the breakdown portion in just a minute. Alright, folks, so welcome to the breakdown and analysis portion where I break down the music that you're listening to and what's happening in it, as well as how much skill it takes to do said things and all the cool, intricate pieces that make the music what it is. So, like I said, I got my piano, and I'm going to go into this promptly from the beginning, starting now. So my pitches were a little off there, but that's a very intense way to start. And if you're going to start that bold, then you better have some power behind what you're about to sing. And we all know that voice play seriously has some power when it comes to doing their musical covers. So like I said, this is already one of those musical risks that they're taking, and it pays off because they blow us away with the rest of the song. So they start off with a poof. It's a very primal, very tribal, very purposeful beat to start off. And if you're going to start off at this tempo with this kind of volume, with this kind of percussive intensity, then like I said, you better know what you're doing. And obviously voice play knows what they're doing. It sounds like a very musical Viking-esque song, and that's exactly what this is. It's a Viking tune, or more of a Viking chant. And they're giving it a very good vibe. It feels more music-like than you would expect a chant like this to actually sound in real life. But, of course, it's voice play, because they're going to make music with their voices. It's going to sound great. They're always going to make it sound like music, even if it's not as musical. Sorry, guys, my mouth is a bit dry today. And that's a really cool octave down riff that Jeff does with the octave up baritone part that's being sung here. So to give you a little bit of an idea of the how low that note is he just sang there, this is a half step below a low C for a bass. So it's not inherently low, but it's plenty low enough to catch a lot of people off guard. That note right there. And Jeff he has several steps below this as far as low notes is concerned. But the fact that we are singing a B1 13 seconds into the song is a pretty good telltale sign this is going to be low note central. Remember how I said there's some pretty low subs in here all throughout? I wasn't kidding, and we're going to talk about them. I think we went to an A1 here. Yeah, so we went to an A1 there, right one step below the B for a brief moment. There was also a really cool harmonic, or there was another cool part in here that chimed in on the third. Oh, 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 oh. I don't know the exact part here. Let me listen to it one more time, see if I can identify it. It was really, really nice little harmonic touch there. Man, A1 again. He sustained it for a pretty good little bit there, and then he gets to the G flat F sharp 1. Let me verify if this is a subharmonic or not. I'm almost positive that's a subharmonic, but we all know that Jeff actually does have a G flat F sharp in chest. And also, we cannot discredit the B1 that he sings right before the sustained A1. Yeah, there was a timbre shift there, so that was definitely a G flat F sharp 1 subharmonic. Let's talk about the higher parts here. So this is just a 4-part harmony going into this, so there's actually not that much to talk about. Okay, we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of the subharmonic city, folks. So the subharmonic he's singing there, if I'm hearing it correctly, is a B0 subharmonic. Let's listen to this again. Before we talk about the subharmonic, remember how I've always told you about how there's power in silence? There was almost complete silence right there. It was like a whoosh. Listen to this. All you hear is the wind and the whoosh, the release. And then you got J-Nun taking the lead here. Something else cool about his timbre on that something really cool about that timbre is that it's intentionally just a little bit of rasp, and I think that's a bit of a tribute to the nature of the song, because we all know that Vikings are very rough, very intimidating, very, very aggressive at times, and just very barbaric. I wouldn't necessarily say barbaric, but they were very rough people. And whenever you think of a rough person, you think that they will also have a rough voice. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it's a really cool little touch nonetheless. So here's the subharmonica I was talking about, the B0. Let me listen to it one more time. Yep, so that is definitely a B0 subharmonic, folks. So that is this note here, but 1 octave down. So this is that's a C1, that's a B1, so that's a B flat 1. So I'm having to manipulate my pitch bending here because the B0 is not even on a transposed keyboard on this keyboard, so bear with me. So C1, so that right around there is a B0. That's coming out of vocal cords from Jeff Castellucci, folks. That is brutally low. And there's plenty more B0 subs in this. That is ridiculous.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verdant plains.
Nice job on the raspiness again, J Nunn. Wonderful.
Each horizon is a new beginning, rising.
And for those that have not heard Lane Stein sing, man's got a great voice in addition to being a phenomenal vocal percussionist. G flat, F sharp subharmonic, G flat, F sharp 1 in the background there.
From the fjords and the ice cold currents, ravens soar over new frontiers, songs and.
Also, I didn't mention this before, but there's a lot of switching in between vowels, and it's very controlled, very disciplined. And if you're going to have a bold piece, you're not going to want to keep the same vowels, like oohs, ahs, and the thing is, if you don't switch it up, then it gets stale. But if you switch it up too much, it muddies it up. And so far, they're keeping it nice and mixed up. It's not too crazy, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's too much yet as far as switching from the vowels back and forth. Spilling water everywhere, folks.
Sagas of a fate determined shields and.
So there was another A1 in chest from Jeff. That was another F sharp G flat 1 subharmonic. Whew.
Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder, pull together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and
there's some belting going on in the background too. Listen for that high belting from Caesar and Ellie.
plunder, pull together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound within. Oh, the echoes of eternity. Oh, Valhalla calling me.
Calling me. That's a B4 there. That's a B3. This is a B4. That's in full chest from Ellie there, being the two.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me.
That was a really cool drop. Also, we got a couple things to talk about in this section real quick. That was a really cool riff up. And riffing up is not exactly easy. Especially on an O vowel, in my personal opinion at least. And it's very well controlled here.
Valhalla calling me.
Caesar with some rasp here. Hello, that's nice.
Valhalla calling me.
Jeff just lays out his B1s on the table like he's not even trying. And he's not trying. He can do this every single day. It's brutal how good he is in the top of the first octave. I mean, he just sit here and he'll just do, or that's an E. He'll just sit there and he'll do this right here. And he'll just sustain it like crazy. Subharmonics in the background. I think we had another G flat F sharp 1 going down to an E1. Yeah, we definitely had an E1 subharmonic in the background there. That's a really cool percussive effect.
Calling me.
Valhalla calling.
Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me.
That's really cool. Listen to that vocal percussive effect that Lane did there. That's a descending, like, slowing down. I don't know how to describe it, and I'm not sure what it's called. People that beatbox, let me know in the comments.
Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me.
And then you got the kick drum drop and the video shape.
Valhalla calling me.
And we got some pretty heavily edited, or pretty heavily modulated vocals here. And that's to help build intensity as they're progressing through the piece. Back up 5 seconds, and then I got something else to talk about here. So when you listen to the beatboxing here, do you really, like, if you close your eyes, do you really think that it's a human voice producing the percussive effects that you're hearing? Yeah, me neither. That's how good Lanestein is at this. Subs and low chest notes for days in the background here.
Sails are swaying on the crimson river.
There's another switch in the vowels, like I was mentioning before. It's very tasteful. Good job.
Blood and glory in the fighting fields.
Yeah, yeah. So there's two little things happening in that little huh. So obviously you've got the vocal huh, but you've also got a clap in the background from, I'd imagine, Lane. Listen to this.
On the crimson river, blood and glory in the fighting fields.
And at the end of that, at the pinnacle of that hit, of that vocal hit, where at the top of that there, that's where the clap is, and that right there is used to induce intensity, and it's genius to do it that way.
And on the crimson river, blood and glory in the fighting fields.
It's right there at the top of the perfectly placed. If you put it anywhere else, it would sound muddy and out of place.
Shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel.
Beautiful 2 to 3 part. Pretty sure it's 3 parts.
Shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel.
I believe it's a 3-part harmony that goes up here. Nice job. Very cool. I need to hear that again.
Splintered timbers, iron and steel.
Lane is crazy, guys. Raspy belting from Ellie here. Hello. This is he's really getting into the character of it. And he's doing what tenors do while maintaining that character voice. Ellie is one of the most talented tenors I've ever heard, hands down. The highest he went there was, let me fact check this, but I'm almost positive the highest he went there was a D5. That's pretty high. Yeah, so he went to a D5 in chess there, and that is that's hilarious because you're going to fatigue your voice very quickly if you add that rasp in there while you are belting, and it takes a lot of water, it takes a lot of warming up, and it takes a lot of practice to do that cleanly and professionally, and it takes a lot of talent to do that. I know I can't do that. Well, I mean, I could try, but that's not something that I'm good at, so I won't do it. But listen to this raspy lead here. Belting to a D5 with rasp. You will get very vocally tired very quick doing that. That was a cool chord, by the way. Hello. He goes from a D5 to a D flat C sharp 5. That's ironic too. They said the echoes of eternity in the song, and there's parts echoing each other as they're singing this. It's a cool little trinket.
Valhalla calling me.
Ooh. Listen to that descending bass line Jeff does. One more time. Do you hear the weight that Caesar has in his words as he's singing here? It's very, very punctual. It's almost over pronouncing the words and being very short, staccato, hard, punching the notes with the way he's saying them. But that's also another intensity factor added in here to make it feel like you're truly stomping along with these Vikings. Like it's very percussive, and it matches the vibe of the song. I forgot to show you the percussive effects that he's making when he's singing this, that I was literally just talking about. So there's a really, really interesting vocal effect there, by the way. Listen to that again. That's the... Sorry. Listen to Caesar's punctuality in his vocals right here, and then we'll listen for that effect. Valhalla calling me. So it's almost like it's overpronounced. Staccato, short, punching the notes. So that's what it goes back to what I was saying. It drives the intensity, it immerses you in the music. That's the effect. Hello. Listen to that riff in the background. It has a nice effect to all three voices that are going up in that riff. To pluck the strings. You see how punctual he is with those words. That's how detailed they get into their arrangements and how detailed they get whenever they're singing here. That is how professional voice play is at what they do. Riffing for days in the background parts too. Hello. A raspy belt to a B4 there. Pretty sure I heard a G5 in there somewhere. That's a pretty dang high note for a male. Here we go. So Jay Nunn is known to do some like rapping sections in his covers with voice play, as is evident by their cover of Superstition back from, I believe it's 2021. And he kills it every time. And although in a piece like this, you would think that rapping doesn't exactly belong in this cover, but it goes surprisingly well. Listen to how just crazy cool this part is right here. It fits. It doesn't just fit. It's like it belongs. And that doesn't normally happen in music like this.
Feeling like a king, I'm more like a guy. Feeling eternal like I'll never die. Getting revenge and eye for an eye. Ready for battle and ready to fight. Ready for war, right at the top. Ended with blood.
There's some... Just listen to these harmonies in the background. After you listen to this rap part, listen to the background harmonies. Hello, they are awesome.
Getting revenge and eye for an eye. Ready for battle and ready to fight. Ready for...
It's just back and forth, and it's flowing. It's giving a framework for Jay Nunn to work his magic.
War right at the top, ended with blood from the head of my ops. This how I go, it don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrap the hell raining down. When it come, they hit.
Another B0 subharmonic here. That's just filthy, man. That's awesome.
The ground, they all end up 6 feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds. Fight for the crew, cause we'll bleed and brawl. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer the greed, and we'll never forget. Valhalla.
That B0 was sustained for a very long time there, folks. The microphone is syncing. Hang on just a second while I adjust. There we go. So that B0 was sustained for... I'm going to measure the time right here, see how long he held it.
Hit the ground, they don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrap the hell raining down. When it come, they hit the ground. They all end up 6 feet. feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds. Fight for the crew cause we're bleeding, we're raw. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer the creed, and we'll never forget Valhalla.
That B0 subharmonic was held for 10 seconds. Sustained for 10 whole seconds. Need I remind you, that note is nearly impossible to reach in chest. So he sings it in a subharmonic, and it's a brutally low note. But he sustains the note for 10 whole seconds. People don't understand how difficult it is to sustain a subharmonic that long for it to sound halfway decent, much less of a recordable quality for that long. It's crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. I can do subs, but it's hard to make them qualitative subs, like recordable subs, whenever you're doing them for that long. Like the pitch is gonna waver, your vocal quality is gonna waver. You're sitting there doing subharmonic. I can't. My voice is a little froggy right now, but that's something else you have to take into consideration when you're doing subharmonics. Is if you're gonna sustain it, it's difficult to sustain it with any quality to the pitch and just any quality to the tone of the sound, and it's 10 whole seconds for this note right here. 10 seconds, folks. It started at 251 and it stopped at 301. 10 whole seconds. Ridiculous.
I go, it don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrap that hell raining down. When it come, they hit the ground. They all end up 6 feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds. Fight for the crew cause we're bleeding, we're raw. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory.
There's a bunch of triplet notes there too that J Nunn is rapping over. So a triplet, if you have a 4-note measure, a triplet it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, but a triplet goes 1, 2, 3, boom. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 2, 3, boom. It happens a lot in rap music. They do a lot of triplet rapping, especially in the more modern rapping and more modern hip hop. They do stuff like that. And it's cool, but in this, he goes back and forth from, let's see, so what other note patterns is he using here? So we're using eighths, and then he goes to triplets, and then
always protect to be free, never fall. Pray for the glory, the conquer the creed, and we'll never forget Valhalla.
That's just ridiculous. The most intense part of the piece is past and gone already at this point. And how much time do I have? Holy cow, we're going over 30 minutes, folks. So the music we've already passed the most intense point. The music just poof. It just goes away right here for a second. Then you just have a really light, just a very light vocal in the background from Caesar here. Power in silence and power in, I'm gonna start saying like power in low volume or power in musical contrast, because if there's this much contrast, you're building up to this huge point in the music. You just go, you're like, where's it gonna go next? This is so cool. You know what I mean?
The echoes of eternity.
It's super thick A1 again.
Valhalla.
Super well controlled riffing by Caesar, Ellie, and J Nunn. And Lane in this too.
Calling me.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me.
I can't do that exactly right, but Lane's good at that too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How does he do that? Is he doing it like a tongue trick? Okay, so no, there's some editing going on. And then we're back up to this big, huge, intense moment of the music again. Musical contrast, volume contrast, intensity contrast. It's all over the place, and that's what makes this, among many other things in this piece, that's what makes it so good. Ooh, there was a nice, I believe that. Sorry guys, the recording limit hit on my camera. That's how long we're going on this. Another D5 from Ellie here. More subharmonics, and I think that's the end here. Yep, that was the end. Man! Like, how do you describe something this crazy cool? Folks. Voice Play is always taking that extra little step to make their music that much better every time they do it. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Every time they do a song, it gets just that little bit more crazy. It's like a mini descent into madness, but it's not actual madness. It's more just musical talent, if that makes any sense. Golly. That's going to conclude today's reaction and analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. Folks that are patrons to Voice Play, thank you for supporting them. They're always pushing out good content, and it's always allowing me to provide good content to my audience. And yeah, I'm behind on several Voice Play songs and several Jeff Castellucci songs, as well as other requests that have been made by you guys. Apologize for that. I had a lot of real life stuff going on, but there's plenty of stuff coming. So this is going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Ethan Drew on the Vocast. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.